Hi, everyone. Welcome. Happy spring day. Today is April 29th. I am Christine Jossi of Mail Something Pretty, and this is our weekly live, which I'm excited to show you a spring card. That's why I started off with Happy Spring because it is, oh, you can tell by my window, it is beautiful outside. And so I'm itching to get outside. So I haven't really had a chance yet just to go to the mailbox and drop something off to a friend, but I'm hoping to get outside. So let's see. We just want to make sure that we are working. And I have a fun spring, like I said, a spring card because May Day is coming up on May 1st. And so that's in 2 days. May is in 2 days, which is crazy. Um, Crazy. April flew by in a flash. It was busy, but it flew by. All right, so I'm gonna assume that we are working. I'll say this now and I'll say this at the end. I hopefully next week's stream goes well. Um, just to get in the nitty gritty, I use a software called StreamYard to stream both to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. But they have more than doubled their prices. And so I'm going to go back to the free version. And so we'll see what happens. But I'll keep you updated to see how that is going to work. Okay, Kim. Oh, Kim, I'm glad you're on because I'm using your card as inspiration today. So that's awesome. So we are good to go. All right. So let me actually say, I'll say just now a couple of things at the beginning, same at the end. I have a paper share going on. Hey Nancy, I have a paper share going on. I just announced it this morning in my email, and I just uploaded all the details on my Facebook page right before I went live. So that's at what I don't even know what it is. I don't know. Just look at Facebook. Oh, you're on. You're probably on Facebook now. It's on there. Mail something pretty if you're looking at YouTube. You can do like local pickup or a priority mail delivery, and there's two options that you can do. You can just do the new papers from the new catalog that I can show you next week. I can't show you the catalog, the inside yet. Um, and Do that. Or if you wanted to add on, I'll show you actually another version of the papers. So that's on there. And oh, Karen, you're live. Hello. Hi, Cindy and Mary Lou. Oh, that's awesome. All my friends are here. The other thing that was just announced, and I haven't announced it yet. So with the new Stampin' Rewards, and I hope you guys are liking them and so you get now every order over $20, you get 10% rewards that you can use on a future order. You can accumulate them, you can use them right away, however you want to do it. And you should see them somewhere when you log into stampinup.com, somewhere on the dashboard, probably on the upper right. It will say, mine says credit, mine's a little different. I think it will say Stampin' Rewards. Maybe mine says Stampin' Rewards now. I'll have to check. Um, and so, anyways, that's there. So they're doing, and this is a cool thing. It's two cool things about this new rewards program. Virtually everyone gets rewards now, right? Any order over $20, you earn rewards. So that's awesome. But now they can do these like little promotions. So on May 2nd and 3rd, so tomorrow is Wednesday. Thursdays are so Friday and Saturday, I'll just make sure. May 2nd and 3rd are double the rewards. So if you order something, you'll get double the rewards. So just for my easy math, say you ordered $50 of something. Normally you get $5, which is 10% rewards you'll get instead of $5, you'll get $10 because they'll double it. So that's in honor of National Scrapbooking Day. So I have a feeling that they'll do these double rewards a couple times in the year. And so that's kind of cool. So I'm telling you guys first, I'll put it in an email, but I want to let you know. Okay, let's get to it. Here we go. So oh, it's upside down. This is the card that Kim sent me for my birthday. And Kim's on here and she did an awesome job and I love it. Love the colors, love the design, love the patterns, I love everything. And so when you open it up, and then you open it up this way. So I am calling it a fancy flip card. I don't know, and Kim, you can tell me if anyone else knows if this fold has a name. I'm awful at knowing what names are, but this part flips up and this part flips down. And so we're going to do this card in different patterns and papers. So we're actually going to do a version of the bee, but with different paper. So this one I made, this is actually that lobster paper. So it's the same paper from the pack, the Friends of the Ocean. Kim doesn't know the name. That's okay. Neither do I. cool fold, says Mary Lou. We'll just call it the fancy flip fold, unless someone else comes up with something else. So I use the lobster paper, but I use the graphic, so you can't tell that it's the lobster paper. So, anyways, you fold up, you fold down, and there's your cute little messages. I was thinking like a fun little May Day card. So I know I put happy birthday on this one. Oh, I have a friend who has a May 1st birthday. Maybe I should put this in the mail. So there's that version, and this the fold and the measurements are all the same, but I decided to use the same pattern paper as this one, but in the lobster crab theme. And so I did this one. So it's just kind of fun. So we're gonna make a different version of this one with different paper. I'll have to make some decisions because I just let's see. Oh, with my bigger desk now, I'm so excited. This desk is like, it feels huge to me, but I can put so much more things on here without them falling on the floor. All right. So I have my measurements here. Let's see. Karen always knows the names of the folds. Cute, fun fold. I've heard of flip, flat, fun fold. Okay, that could be it too. You're good about knowing the names of folds. All right. So I'm going to use, actually, this just kind of coincidentally, I'm going to use this paper. And it's from my paper share from the last catalog. And so these are what my paper shares look like. So I am doing the paper share. I said at the beginning, I just announced it today, and I think it's till May 6th. So next Tuesday's the last day to sign up. And so what I do is I cut the 12 by 12 papers in half on the 6 inches, and then I stack them all together. Some of the papers aren't on in here. And then I just put a little old paper belly band on it, and I also print out the name of the paper, the item number, and the coordinating colors. So I can just look at this and know that what colors are in it, so you don't have to look it up on the catalog. So that's kind of what my paper shares look like. And then after I cut some papers, then I just use a paper clip to kind of keep them in there. And so that seems to work for me. Sorry, so we're gonna use we're gonna use hi, Deborah from Tennessee. Thanks for joining in. All right, we're going to use this paper. And rather than using, because I like those together, but it's a little heavy for my kind of springtime bee, we're going to use different paper to go with it. So we need two patterns to go with, if we're going to use this one. So that is peach pie with that. Oh, Nancy's giving me a shout out. Love your paper share. She ordered one this morning. Thank you, Nancy. So remember I said like the paper shares. Let's get all the props here. Can't open it online, but I can tomorrow. And actually, that's why normally I have the deadline to my paper shares the day before the catalog goes live so that I could get the orders in so that there's not a sellout or the papers haven't been selling out the beginning of the time frames anymore. At one point they did. And so I extended it to the deadline is the same day that this goes live so that I can show you I can show you some of the papers. You can look online so you can kind of see the papers, you get an idea. But so there's the paper share are the new papers in here. Plus, I think there's two, three papers from the online exclusive. So there's even so May 6th, there'll be all new stuff in here. Plus, there'll be new online exclusive stuff. So some of the papers are from that kind of product launch. So you can do that. But I also did like an add-on. So if you wanted to, so these happen to be the in colors from last year, but they actually come in every color. I don't have all my little scraps, but you get the patterns. So there's 4 patterns. So for this particular one, there's polka dots. I don't really know what that is. Stripes and florals or greenery. And then you get them all the colors. So they do them in every color collection. So the brights and the regals and the neutrals and the subtles and the in colors. So the add-on is to get one sheet of each pattern and color for all of these packs. I just wanted to show you kind of the patterns are slightly different. They always change them up every year, so they'll be a little bit different. So that's kind of what that is. All right, let's put this away later. But we're going to use this one, peach pie. Okay. And I think we're going to use, let's see. We can use, we want to go this. I think actually we will go that way. Or we could go, yeah, we're going to go this way. All right. So my base is going to be Melon Mambo. So according to my paper share here, the colors are Blackberry Bliss, Garden Green, Pecan Pie, Pumpkin Pie, and Real Red. But I'm not using red because the flowers to me looked Melon Mambo. And I like the pink versus the red for this card anyway. So you don't always have to use the colors that are in it, but they kind of work together. Let's see. Karen now says, fun fold flip card. Ignore the last comment. Okay. Yeah. I have no idea. All right. So we're going to use that. So here are my measurements, which I will take a picture of and I will post them along with the finished cards. But and I copied exact measurements. I didn't change anything from Kim's card, so it's exactly the same measurements. You certainly could change like the I like how there's like a skinny um layer versus the thicker layer. Like I like that, but you guys know what you're doing. So if you can always change things around. So my base is 4¼ by 8½. So I know that a standard piece of paper is 8½ by 11. So I'm just going to leave that 8½, and I'm going to cut the 4¼ And then we're going to score it at 3 o'clock landscape. So landscape is that way. Did I say 3 o'clock? 3 inches. Ay, ay, ay. 3 inches. Okay, so that will go up like that. Here's one fold. And then we're just going to go in order. My back layers. So those are the ones kind of these layers. The solid is 4 by 5¼ So I said I was going to use the peach. So I'm going to cut that at 5¼ by 4. I thought about making 2 cards at the same time, but it's probably a good thing that I'm not. And actually, that's wrong. 4 by 5¼ So I did that earlier. So that should be 4 inches. Okay. So 4 by 5¼ That will go here. And then my pretty pattern, it's pretty too, but not for this card, is going to be, and it's just down an increment. So this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So I'm going to cut it because I kind of like the flowers in this direction. That way they look a little sideways to me. So I'm going to cut it at the 5 1/8 here, and then I'll trim it that way. Some patterns doesn't matter which direction, but I want the flowers to go this way. By 3 7/8. Do you guys use the 8th and the 16th measurements, or do you kind of stick to the quarters? I like kind of playing with them together. All right, so that will go on the inside like that. And then the front layers. So I'll first start with this front layer, the solid, and I'll do it the same with the peach. 4 by 2 3/4. So 4 by 2 3/4. That one will go right here. And then I'm going to use this peach striped paper. Pattern 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. I'm actually going to cut the skinnier one this way because I think I'll save more paper. 2 5/8, maybe. Maybe we'll use that on the inside. I say 3 7/8. All right, so that will go there. Did I cut my peach wrong? 2 3/4. Oh, this should be 2 5/8. Oop, is it crooked? Ah, that one is crooked. Oh no. Let's hope we have another one. Let's see. Could do bubbles if I need to, but I kind of like the stripes. Hey, I'm talking to myself. I'm really talking to you, but I feel like I'm talking to myself and I cutting everything wrong. Okay, let's do this one again. Sorry, guys. Keep that one there, but it was crooked and that would really bother me. All right, I like the stripes usually to go that way. So let's look here. 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. 3 7/8. Make sure it's up there. By 2 5/8. All right. So Nancy says she uses the eighth. Yes, you do. I know you do. You use an eighth of an inch a lot. Yeah, I like the skinny borders sometimes. That looks much better. It was like wonky. Okay. So that's that. That's that. And now we're going to do our little kind of flip base because that even could be a card on its own. But so we're going to do this piece. So that piece, and I just called it the top flip. The base is 2.5 by 9.5. So I used this kind of color on the same ones. You can actually get 3 from one sheet of paper. So I'm just going to continue and use that as the same one since I have the the piece here. All right, so 2.5 by 9.5. Open my arm. And then we're going to score that in half, which is at 4 3/4. Again, you can make this wider if you want, or no, not really much longer, but if you wanted that wider than is it 2.5? You certainly can do that. You could even make it almost as wide as the whole card. But I liked the skinniness of it because then you can see the pattern. But this you can certainly play with. All right, so that gets like that. And then we're getting there. All right, so the solid top layer. So for this one I just did Melon Mambo, the pink. On this one, I did the Summer Splash. The solid top layer. What color do I want that? Let's actually put it together because I'm not sure. How's that? Let's see. Karen says, when we talk to ourselves, there is no one to argue, disagree, judge us. Yes. I use the eighth management. Thank you, Karen. All right. So before I get cutting like crazy, because I'm not sure what colors I want, but this we can see them. You see them all? Yeah. I'm gonna actually start putting this part together. Okay. So these two are just gonna go together. It must be spring fever. That's why I'm all mixed up. And my son usually works from home, but today he's at the office, and so I have the house to myself. Just I enjoy having him here, but now I feel like I can get a whole lot done and just talk to myself without worrying about interrupting him on his calls. All right, so that's gonna go in here. I probably would not have normally put these colors together, but they're kind of pretty. It's a little fallish, but we're gonna spring it up once we put the bee on there. And I think that will lighten it up. So the when we get to it, the bee stamp set and the punch are being carried over in the next catalog, and I'm really happy because I like them. And so I want you guys to know it's not just even though the name of the set is Be My Valentine, it's so much more than just Valentine. Because like these are summer, spring. All right, line those up so not the borders line up. And that peach really lightens it up too. So when we put this in here, ooh, that makes it bright, but we're gonna use this color for stamping too. So now we have to decide. I think might use pink. I wasn't sure if I was gonna use the peach, but yeah, I think we'll use the pink. Okay, so let's go back to cutting. Lily says it's when you get an answer when you're talking to yourself. That's when you get nervous. That is so true. All right, so where were we? The flip, the base, the solid top layer is 2¼ by 4½. I'm looking at my cutter. I think I need to put some glue and stuff on it. It's kind of dirty. But clean that up. So that will go on there. And then we're going to put a white piece. And so I think I told you guys a while ago, I accidentally ordered 12 by 12 white. But like, wait, it kind of helps out in this instance. So I'm using that up because I'm out of my other white. Let's see. The top white is 2 1/8 by 4 3/8, but the inside is 2¼ by 4½. So I'm gonna cut the bigger one at 2¼ and that's actually the same size as that first layer. 2¼ by 4½. So that one will be the inside, but then now I can just trim this one down to 4 3/8. And then just take 1/8 of an inch off so that it becomes 2 1/8. And then I have a nice piece. Actually, we can stamp on, maybe we'll stamp our bee on that piece. Okay, so that's gonna go on top like that, but we're gonna stamp it, so I'm not gonna put it on there yet. Like that, and then that will go on the inside. So we can actually put this stuff together. I'm gonna put that on top of there. Actually, the bees are flying around, which is exciting. Means it's not too cold for them. They have some pollen out that they can get. All right, so I'm going to open this up. Okay, let's try to straighten that up. I'm going to open that up. And I'm just going to I'm going to glue it down just like that. So I'm going to put some glue or whatever you use like that. I'm just going to center it as best I can. And then this will go up like that. That will go up like that. We're going to tie the colors together. So don't worry. It should be all tied together. Okay, so this is the top one, and this is the inside one. Don't let me get them mixed up, please. Okay, so now let's do some stamping. And just, I was going to stamp the bee on this little piece, and then, but I need a Post-it to hold it for the cutter, and I don't see my Post-it here, so I'm going to use a bigger white piece. But you guys probably know that trick. Should I use this piece? I brought a bigger one out. Okay, put that aside. So here's the stamp set. Oh, Nancy, no bees for you. You still have snowflakes. Ah, so sorry. You'll have to make your own bees. All right, so this is the Bee My Valentine stamp set, which has been around. I think this will be the third. Let's see, hold on. It was introduced in a mini catalog. Let's see, this was 25. So maybe the mini of 24, the spring mini of 24, maybe. Could have been the year before. But it's carrying over into the next catalog, and there's actually some really cool paper in the scrapbooking section that uses this, and it uses purples. It uses really pretty colors. Um, so it's a great set, and it has the punch that goes with it. So that we'll do it. We'll use that. So all my stamps are on blocks here. We're gonna start. Again, this is the inside top. No, it's the inside. I like I've said before, you can use Stays On Black or Memento Black. I prefer the Stays On because I think it's darker and crisper. But you can use, but it does stain. So you can use whichever you want. I've also used this without using black. I think I used like a light color and I used Milan Mambo instead of black as the stripes. So I like to stamp in the direction of that I'm going to punch. So when I stamp it on the paper, I'll put it in here and I'll punch. So I'm going to have, let me see that way. I'm going to stamp it that way because it just makes it easier. And I have my grid sheet here, so I don't have my, I think it should be good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do 2 just to make sure. That one's a little bit better. I'm going to let it dry. I don't know if you can see, but it's wet. And I also keep this re-inked pretty often because I like that crisp, dark black line. So I'm going to let that dry for a second before we add the lemon lolly because that's a light yellow. And I'm going to use, let's see, I kind of like the lemon lolly bee. So a lot of times I'll use the daffodil. Actually, maybe we'll do both. And then we'll pick. That's what we'll do because I have both colors up here. I brought an assortment of colors because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I like to do the outline first because then when I go to stamp that, I can see through it. And it's a little bit better than if I did this one first and put the stripes on top because my stripes are so stained. Um, it's oh, actually, you can see it better there than when I do it. It's hard to see. Um, so there's no wrong way, but that's how I like to do it. All right, all that talking should have had it dry. So I'm going to, so you just see right through it. You can kind of see where the edge of the circle is with the little bee tail. So we got this cute little bee. And now I'll do that one. I have a feeling we'll use this one, but I don't have to clean it because this was a lighter yellow than this one. So hopefully you can see the 2 differences of the bees. We'll see. All right. I don't stamp the face yet, and there's 4 faces in this set. So there's kind of like angry eyes. There's cute little closed eye smile, there's an open eye smile, and there's a wink. So it's kind of nice. You get 4 faces, but I don't do the faces yet because you can have your bee fly in any direction. So I like to do that last. See, the paper just goes in the top here. Just gonna line it up. You do get a little white border outline. So I lined it up and I kind of just hold it a little bit just to make sure. See, it slid. So you line it up, give it a little press to make sure that's where you like it punched out. Pieces go flying. Okay, so there is the bee body. And now we need to do the wings. Here they are. So it's kind of cool. Like the wings are done with a heart. And also we cut out the wings with a heart there. So a lot of times you can use any color, but a lot of times I use Pool Party. Feel like you could use gray, you could use pink, you could use any color. I kind of like the Pool Party because to me it has a little bit of like a see-throughness to it. Envisioning those little flying wings. Same thing. I like to do the outline first. And I also like to stamp in the direction of the punch. So I will actually stamp that one, and we need two. And then the heart, I'm actually going to stamp off. So I'm going to stamp first because I'm using the same color. I'm going to stamp it over here, and then I'm going to line it up on top like that. So it's very light. Stamp it over here first, line it up. All right. So then we'll punch these guys out. So for this one, I'm actually going to punch this one out first, because if I was to punch out this one first, then this little heart would get punched, and sometimes it might be in the way. So I'm just going to punch this one first. That's what happens when you have different shapes on one punch, is sometimes you get something punched that you didn't want where you stamped it. Okay, so we got our two wings. Oh, good. Mary Lou likes the pool party for the wings. Excellent. Karen says, I love the stamp set. I have the bundle. I think it's for the 40. Yeah, it's been around for a while, but I'm really happy they kept it. I'm also happy that they kind of introduced new paper to go with it. It's actually the same patterns, but different colors, which is kind of cool, because the first one was definitely Valentine's, and this one is more purples. I don't have it. I'll have to get it. Okay, so now we have this. We'll decide if we use the light one or the dark one, and a little, I think I'm going to use the light one though. I want to put some flowers down here, and I'm going to kind of match some of those flower colors so that it kind of all ties in together. So we have our lemon lime twist, which is the same green as that one. So that will thread those two together. And the set has kind of two stems, so we're going to use both of those. I'm going to stamp that one there, and you can kind of move it around so it doesn't look like the same. So I'm going to move this. I'm just going to angle this one a little bit different. Even though it's the same stamp, it doesn't look totally the same. And then I'm going to actually slightly do that one more upright. And since they're here, let's do the inside too. Okay, so top, inside. And then I did bring different colors. So we have peach, which would mimic this. We have melon mambo, which would do that. And then I think we'll use berry burst. It's not quite as dark as a blackberry bliss, which is a really dark color. So I think that will work. And it's almost what I used on this one. I think I just used yellow instead. All right, so I have the flowers there. So we'll do, since I have two flowers and I'm being a little lazy, I'm going to use the one that has the two flowers. I'm going to do the melon mambo and the berry burst so I don't have to clean them. And then these are already clean. They look stained, but oh, maybe they weren't cleaned. Maybe I won't do that. Maybe I will stick with that one. Okay, sorry, we can still do it this way. I don't think my chamois is wet. And I have still not got everything set from putting the new table in here. We're going to actually move them so they're not totally the same front, inside and outside. That's peach, so I'm just gonna go right on top of my melon mambo. I'm actually gonna turn my flower too, so again that doesn't look exactly the same. Let's do it this way. And then we'll do berry burst. Like that. Okay. Those are done. When we put this on the front, it kind of ties it in together. Try not to smudge. And our B is going to go here. And here's the one I'm copying. You could do it without the happy birthday, but I have this tiny little smudge here, so I am going to put the happy birthday right there. Because you could always stamp it on the inside. And I have 3 choices. Let's see. I already pre-cut them. I used this shape from the perennial postage dies. These dies are being carried over, so you can get those still for another year. So we can use, I'm just seeing what colors. Well, that adds a new color. A little, I don't think so. Let's stamp happy birthday on both of these and then we'll decide. So the happy birthday, you can use happy birthdays from lots of places, but I just wanted to show you where I got it from because I haven't used it too much. It's called Keeping Tabs, and it does come with this punch. You can use it that way. So it cuts out these, they kind of make like, little tabs for a hanging file or a bookmark, or there's lots of things you can do with it. But I actually liked the words too. So we're using the happy birthday. We're just going to use black. All right, let's stamp both. And let's see what happens. Oop. That one's a little bit smudgy. All right, by default, we're going to use the bubble bath because that one's a little smudgy. So that solves that. Oh, we still need that for the face. Okay, so now I can stamp the face, and we're going to stamp the antenna. Because you can have your bee go in this direction, this direction, this direction, even going down. So I like to stamp the face last. It's just, that's the face I use most times, the little smiley face. Oh, and then we need the antenna. So the antenna I'm actually going to stamp directly on the paper. So I'm just going to, before we put this bee all together, we'll just kind of mock them up here. Guess where I want the antenna to go. Move them down. Okay. So the antenna, if you wanted to punch them out, this little antenna, you can go, actually works with this heart, which is kind of neat. But I just did it straight down. I didn't do the best job, but that's okay. And then my little bee, see so you can see what I'm doing here. I just like to put a little glue there, and then I put my bee. You can use as much or as little the wing you like. I put a little glue there. Then I turn them around so I can see better. So just try to get it symmetrical. Like that. All right, so now we can glue that on top of there. It's a good thing I didn't do 2 cards. It would take a long time. It shouldn't once you have everything cut and ready. All right, and then I'm going to use a dimensional, the B. Should put 2 on here. And I'm just going to put that right there. Isn't that cute? And you could totally leave it just like that. You could even put gems on the flowers. But I am going to add that because I have that smudge right there. So I'm just going to do that. I think it actually ties in a little bit of the purple. And I'm just going to put it on flat. I'm going to just use glue. like so. And on the inside, I'm gonna put that there. I'm glad you like it, Nancy. All right. All right, let me move my mess so I can show you all the cards. All right, so this was the original. This is the one that Kim sent. This paper is still available. Don't know if this paper was part of that pack or not. It probably was because it matches so pretty. I just don't remember it. Um, and I don't remember what it's called. Um, but that was the one I copied from. And then I made this one using the back sides of all that lobster crab paper, just the kind of the graphic sides. And there's graphics for orange and Calypso Coral too. So they actually had quite a lot of graphics. So then that looks similar to what we just made. And I used the white as a border color because I didn't want it to be too bright. And then I made this one with like the fun side of the lobster paper. I just cut the two crabs out of the designer paper. I didn't even stamp them. But this one's bright, but it works because I just tied in all the colors of and that one. I used a Hello Friend from that same stamp set I just used. And I put a little that paper on the bottom. And then this is the one we just made. Oh, it shifted. There we go. Cute little bee for May birthdays. Or I was actually thinking of a May Day card, and then I put the happy birthday on it. But you don't have to. It can be a May Day card without the happy birthday. And May Day is when you like just deliver flowers surprisingly to somebody. I know I've said this story before. When my daughter was at like kindergarten, she and her friend they picked all these dandelions and they brought them to our other neighbor's house and she loved them and she sent them a little note and it was so sweet. So May Day's kind of fun. All right, so that's what I had for you. Let's see. Put myself back on here. And then let's see, Karen likes some, Mary Lou likes some. Awesome. You have the lobster bundle. It's so that lobster bundle, I've said every live for the past month. It's my favorite and it's on the retirement list. So it's leaving us. So it's called Friends of the Ocean. It's fabulous. The paper's good, the stamp set by itself is good, the dies are good, it's all good. So if you don't have it, really look for it. Let's see. Oh, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Desk is so big. Um, I'll just show you kind of what it looks like. So this is the bundle. It's the best, but it is retiring on May 5th. So if you don't have it, seriously look at it because it's really good. And you can actually get it on the double points day. So May 2nd and 3rd, you'll get double Stampin' Rewards, which is pretty exciting. So what else? The paper share I talked about at the beginning. That information's up on my Facebook page. I'll put it on my website. It's not there yet, but I'll get there. And it was in the email, so that's good. Another week you can sign up. And let's see, just seeing if I didn't miss anything. Cindy likes the card. Karen likes the card. Thank you. You like my color choices. The paper kind of dictated it, but thanks. I don't think I normally would have picked those colors, but it works, which is kind of cool. So it's a good way of using up all that paper because I know you guys have lots of paper, just like me. So it's a good way to use it up. All right, so I think that's all that I had. So the catalog, wherever it went, the new catalog, I lost it. Oh, right in front of me. This goes live next, I think it's Tuesday, on May 6th. I'm in the process of printing labels. So if you've ordered from me in the past year, I have ordered you a catalog. I just have to print the labels and get them to the post office. So you'll have it before, you should have it before it goes live. But I'll also post links of the online version once it goes live. So I think that's what I had for you today. Karen says, thanks for the fun class. I've missed you too, Karen. Miss being with you. Oh, I'm glad your tulips open. Sorry, Nancy, your tulips aren't open yet. Sandy turning late. Did you give the dimensions? I did. And they're here, but I will take a picture So what I usually do is I'll take a picture of all the cards that oops, that I did, and I will take a picture of those too, and I'll get them up in a day or two, and so you can have all those dimensions. And I think I'm all caught up. So good. So thank you. So I said this way at the beginning, you may not have been on. So the software I use to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time is called StreamYard. And they have gone up in price by a lot. And so I'm just going to go to their free version, which I used to use a long time ago. So I forget kind of the how it all works to know what how to stream. So there's a possibility it may only stream to either Facebook or YouTube, and then I will upload it to the other ones, but I will make an announcement in my email. So make sure that you're on my email list to get that announcement, so you know where to find me next week. All right. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sandy, and trying to see who else I'll throw it on. Thanks for everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.